Welcome to Too Cute to Die, the podcast where we talk about death, terminal illness, mental health, addiction, perimenopause, and all the shit that makes life complicated, chaotic, and kind of hilarious. We're your hosts.
Oh, Rebecca.
I'm Vanessa. And we're either crying, swearing, or forgetting what we're talking about. Probably all three, but let's fucking go, motherfuckers. Hi.
Hi.
That was
How
so
are you?
amazing. Wait,
That
that
was
was a very meta moment of like, oh fuck, I'm supposed to say something now.
yeah. I forgot we weren't on FaceTime.
No,
Kinda.
but it is sort of like FaceTime. My little
How
dog
are you?
wants to join today. She's gonna hang out, hopefully
Hello, Pookie.
not bark a whole bunch. Um, yeah, I'm actually really good. It's a Sunday. We seem to do our best with recording on Sundays, which is a good day for me because I don't have like appointments. I don't have anywhere to be. It just the day takes me where it takes me.
Well, and usually on Sundays, that's when we look the hottest. So,
Obviously, because we're rested bitches.
right, exactly.
There is that. Did you sleep okay last night?
I can't remember.
Bet you probably did.
I must have. I must have.
You
Yes.
must have. You look like you had a motherfucker of a sleep. So there you go. So cute. So how was the week since we last hung out and potted
Did we
together?
did we talk about Christmas
We did talk
last
about
time?
Christmas. We've had some New Year's. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hmm.
No, I have nothing
2026
going
is
on.
interesting already.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a good time.
You're what, about 150 pounds lighter right now?
Yeah, no, definitely more than 150.
Oh, okay. You look
Sorry.
so good for losing at
Wow.
least 150 pounds.
Wow. 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 That was rude. Just went through a breakup, so
We're feeling some feelings. That's good. Congratulations.
feeling good today. Had a
It
rough
comes
few
and goes.
days.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
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 But
Yeah.
that's good
So
though.
I'm single.
Whoop whoop. And
All
looking
the
to mingle.
ladies and very gay, just so you know.
Apparently we're maybe taking dating applications at toocutepod@gmail.com. Like send us your
100.
CV or whatever.
Hold on. We might be having a fire.
Are you cooking? Okay. You don't need your fire blanket? Oh, I can hear your fire alarm.
It's already done that a couple times today. So anyways, I think we're done.
Okay, good. Um, so how are you feeling? Like health-wise, diagnosis-wise?
Yeah, I mean, I think we did talk earlier. I don't know that we really set the scene to why we're doing this, besides the fact that
Hmm.
we've been friends for a million years. Um, but um I don't know. Did you watch I haven't watched the video, so I can't remember if I've talked about it.
We've talked a bit about like when you first got your diagnosis, like the beginning of that sort of stuff. We talked a little bit about like the early stages of like how it all came together. And so the
Okay.
purpose of this podcast is for us to talk through the progression of your illness and as long as you can, but
Yeah.
to also educate around invisible illnesses like young onset Alzheimer's,
Yeah.
because this one in particular, there's so little that most of us know about it. And we have these assumptions about what it should present like. And then when it doesn't, it's crazy making for all involved.
Yeah, and recently I've made a few videos on TikTok because that's, how this all started. I sharing my story and I had like 50,000 followers, got hacked, and now I'm building it back up. And I'm getting the people that are like, I don't believe you because how come you can remember
Mhm.
what you did the day before or whatever that is.
Yeah.
And so on my TikTok, I've gone into great detail just explaining how different young onset presents. It's super rare, does not present anything like late onset. And so, yeah, the whole point of me even sharing my story is to destigmatize this very rare disease. People tell me that I look too good to be, too cute to be dying, but that I don't look like I have a year left to live.
That's right.
And
Well, and one of the things that we were talking about like yesterday with some of the stuff that was going on your TikTok was that people were misunderstanding like the diagnosis and the projected lifespan from your
Yeah.
neurologist versus your individual threshold for suffering as determined by you in the MAiD program. And that, that both things can be true. Your neurologist has said you have 5 to 7 years to be alive.
Yeah.
But that includes like being in a home, can't feed yourself, wearing a diaper, which
Yeah.
you don't want any part of. And so
Yeah.
through accessing the MAiD program, you have decided where, where you stop being you, and that's where you want to choose to depart this earthly world.
Yeah. And so, and he based the 5 to 7 years at the onset of symptoms. So I'm already 3 years into the 5 to 7 years. So I am still considered mild dementia, moving into moderate. And the moderate is when you'll start to see it more, but that can last 2 years,
Mm.
right? Or 3 years. But I'm probably not going to stick around for that 2 to 3 year period because once I move into the middle part of moderate, like I'm already so dependent on you for all my paperwork and she's my brain because I all the executive functioning is gone, which is what
Mm.
young onset that's actually how it presents is in like disorganization, unable to multitask, scheduling difficulties, that kind of stuff. It's not memory. Like memory is a part of it, but it's not the main part of it.
Yeah,
Um,
like what I see, because I mean, everyone hears you talk about it from your vantage point. For me, my vantage point, we live 2,500 kilometers apart, so we don't like hang out day by day. But when we do interact, it's so that I can help you fill out documents and correspond with different companies or different organizations for different things, whether it's your life insurance or rental stuff or the Canadian
yeah,
government regarding your pension. Yeah, all of those sorts of things. And
yeah.
so, in that, if we were to really like sit down and I ask you every question for every field together, you can recall it all and tell me, but that's also incredibly taxing for your brain and that's unnecessary. I can just reference documents, away I go. I get the green light from you that everything's accurate and off it goes.
Well, and if it was left to me, I wouldn't be able to fill out the form or read the instructions and then understand which part of the form that I have to fill out. Then, on top of that, say I was able to actually do that or like kind of get through it, I then wouldn't know, am I mailing this? Am I emailing? How do I attach? I don't know how to attach a
Mhm.
document anymore. I mean, I don't know if we discussed this yet, but when you were here visiting, and we got a birth certificate and we had to call
Mhm.
around to
You had no
all the
idea
government
why it had
agencies
ever been
because
sent
I
out.
didn't know, yeah, I didn't know like who did I send my kid's birth certificate out for? I had no idea.
Yeah.
And so it's invisible to the outside world, but I have lost complete independence in that part of my life, in the part of my life where I take care of my medication. I have blister pack medications,
Yeah.
and now they're talking about having a nurse come in the morning to give them to me because now I'm forgetting to take my meds. I have an
And
accountant.
and another thing that happens too for you, because when we went on our trip to Costa Rica together, that was like the 2 weeks that we spent together was the first time that we'd spent any time together in over 8 years.
Yeah,
And so, even though there was like all of the separate part of like hanging out for the first time after
yeah,
8 years, that's a different conversation.
yeah,
But just
yeah.
the like, how do I even frame this? It was a matter of like understanding what your limitations were for me and to kind of take stock of what the indicators were of when your energy focus desire was beginning to wane, and then be nimble enough in our thinking and our planning and our activities to know when to relieve you of any decision making or distance walking. Like when we were going through the airport, we pre-planned the VIP wheelchair service from gate to gate, which that's a pro
Yeah.
tip for travel right there because you're not going to ever miss your flight and they know exactly where to go.
Oh,
But
it was
because we were
great.
like traveling at night, we were keeping track of lots of details. I know that that would have been difficult for you. And even just like boarding the plane and what row are we in and where is my
Oh, I can't
passport?
do that. I
Yeah.
went to the movies yesterday with two friends, and they picked my seat for me like on the computer screen, and then when we went down it like I mean it was dark, but also like I can't comprehend row H seat 29, like I that kind of stuff I
Yeah,
can't do. So I am like extremely dependent on other people, and like you were just
it'll come back.
fire.
Oh, see, Zoom totally erases that. I can't hear any of it. You just look like you're grooving to imaginary.
Oh, there's a fire alarm going on. Oh, I think it might mean I have to leave. Oh, no. This just happened. So that was a fire alarm, and I was dancing to it because it had a cute little song, but it's been going off all day. Happened about a month ago, and I was wearing nothing. And so I put on my robe and I ran outside. And I was literally out there for an hour with just this like see-through robe in the freezing cold
Oh my
with
God.
all my neighbors. It was really fun. But we were talking about MAiD and timelines, and yeah, so yes, 5 to 7 years, but with MAiD, it's more about like when I decide my quality of life is not suitable for me anymore.
Which I
And that
love
is,
that. I love that so much.
yeah,
There's so much dignity in that and
yeah, there's a
agency as
lot of
well.
autonomy, agency.
Hmm.
I get to define it. Nobody gets to tell me when I've had enough.
Yeah.
Like you, when you go into like any medical room, you're being told what to take, what to do, what not. You're either believed or not, usually not believed.
Hmm.
And this, it's really too sad because this medical resource, I wish embodied the entire medical system because it's so supportive. Like I actually am in text communication with my MAiD provider. Like I
But
somebody sent
and
somebody just
what I love about him though is that like you have this sort of I don't want to say friendship because it is a very professional relationship,
yes,
but
it is.
he's
Yeah.
just like such an approachable human.
Oh
We
yeah.
jokingly refer to him as Dr. Death.
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
and
I got a video today sent to me on TikTok, and it was basically, and there's so much, oh, you can cure, take lithium or just whatever, all the things. But one of my followers, who I actually do talk to, sent me a video where there was all this research where it shows that people that do MAiD are drowning, and they just are what's the word? Knocked out. So it looked like they don't know that they're drowning, but like they could be suffering, but they can't say that they're suffering. And so I sent it to to my MAiD doctor, and he was like, "Oh, the trolls." That he said none of that is true at all. I was like, "Yep, that's all I needed to hear."
yeah,
And for me, I'm like, I don't care if that's what it like. I'd rather die drowning while being asleep
yeah. And
and
choosing when
with
it's time.
with fentanyl, because they obviously are going to give you pain medication. Like I'd rather die that way than the Alzheimer's way, which
Oh my
is
God, like withering away and
in a poopy diaper. You're
yeah.
usually like can't swallow, can't talk. Like no, thank you, no,
No, that's not living.
no. And so my my end of life decision is multifaceted in terms of I have children,
Yeah.
and if it was up to just me, I'd be happy to go now. Like, I'm not saying my life is intolerable right now, but what I'm saying is that I'm, I don't get joy out of my life the way that I used to.
Yeah. And you're
Like,
aware of it.
I'm aware of it. It sucks. Like, I spend time with friends and I don't care. And that's not like me. I've
Hmm.
always been such a lover of like people, and I mean, I do feel really passionate about advocacy, so I am really grateful that I have that feeling because I've lost so much
Mm-hmm.
feeling of passion and enjoyment that it's nice to feel that at least.
Yeah.
But I have children, so there's this, unfortunately strange paradox of like staying alive for other people because I want my children to have their mother around. there, and then there's a huge sense of guilt choosing MAiD because regardless, I'll be choosing it when other people think I
Not
don't
yet,
need to
not
choose
yet.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because my bar for suffering is very low. I've suffered my entire life through, mental health, addiction, all that stuff, trauma, CPTSD. I've had a rough life and I'm not saying that in a poor me way. I'm just saying like
You've endured enough.
I've endured enough and my tolerance is so low for suffering now that I'm not going to just grin and bear it anymore. And like I'm almost 50. Like I'm done putting on a happy face for other people.
And making other people comfortable. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. But it involves your children. So it's really complicated.
Yeah, it's definitely not a black and white situation. Like
No.
wanting what you want is very black and white, but the nuance
Yes.
around when and timing and how and what do you do in the meantime, all of that is so individual and
And then
probably,
how do I deal with the reactions of my loved ones who don't agree with that? It's like I'm gonna have to make peace with that in
yeah,
some way, and I don't know how to. Like, I just ended up getting Vanessa and I tickets to a 1 day retreat on Gabriel Island for it's a day of death uh, rituals, or I think it's just like journaling and
yeah, just some like guided
whatever.
stuff to and
Yeah,
facilitated to like explore grief in a really safe container.
yeah. So I am looking forward to that because I feel like I feel really, really strongly compelled right now to be moving into um, allowing myself the grace to go when I need to without the guilt.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know how you do that.
I think
We're
both things are
women.
just true. Like I think
Yeah.
you integrate them. It's not a letting go
Mhm.
of any of it. It's just integrating them and understanding that pain is part of the mess of humanity and the the guilt is something that sort of we're programmed to take responsibility for as mothers, but I think it's really grief,
Mm,
right? Like I think
mm,
it's thinking ahead to all of the things that you
yeah.
leaving when you feel like it's time for you to leave also means that there's stuff that you're not going to get to be a part of. And I think that's all just grief
Yeah. Yeah.
dressed up as
I
guilt.
think I think it's I think they're both there at the same time. The
Yeah,
guilt and the because the guilt is what I would have done 10 years ago is fought, 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 fought. I would kill myself for my kids,
yeah,
right? And I have emotionally killed myself for my children. They didn't ask that,
right.
but I powered through recovery, therapy, working full time as a single parent to two kids, and just showed up and showed up and showed up. And then I fell apart because you
Yeah.
can only hold so much. And I
Hmm.
don't have that in me anymore. And I think that's where the guilt comes from because
The
I used to
resources
be
just
able
aren't
to
there.
fight
Yeah.
for them. And now it's like I have to learn how to fight for myself. And we as women don't know how to do that. So
Because it's never been modeled.
never
We're
been
not
modeled.
taught how to do it. It's
No.
an idea that I think all of us aspire to understanding how to do for ourselves,
Yeah.
especially in this generation. Like we're told that we should want to prioritize ourselves and go for all the
Yeah.
self-advocacy and self-care and all of those things. But there's no blueprint for what that looks like. How do you know how to do that in a way that doesn't also bring guilt with it?
Well, and then there's shame from society just
Of course,
because
because we're
that's just
women.
the way. Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
love life.
Yeah,
Anyways,
it's interesting.
it is interesting.
I am
We
looking
did,
forward to this grief retreat though, because
yeah.
like for me,
What are
like
you grieving?
I haven't grieved it yet. Like I think when I first found out about it, it hit me like a ton of bricks. And we can get into that story another day because that is its own really unique story. Um, it hit me like
Mhm.
a ton of bricks. I cried my guts out, but then I had to go to work. So off I go. I compartmentalize, away I go to work.
Yeah.
And in the time since then, I now have jobs to do. And that's
Yeah.
been a really safe place for me to focus all of those feelings. Plus,
Yeah.
I've been on antidepressants for a long time, as probably just about everybody I know, except for some people who probably should be on them and aren't. Um,
We know who they are.
But recently, I've started to decrease my dose because I noticed that I wasn't able to actually reach my grief. And I
Mm.
want to be able just to touch it. Even if I
Yeah.
can't like get right into it yet, I still
Yeah.
want to be able to touch it. And I can't even quite touch it. And
Mm.
so having these tasks still allows me to feel like I'm dispersing that energy into something. It's useful. That's within my control. And then as I, decrease my medication, it does bring some of those emotional connections closer. And I can kind of see them now. They're still out of reach, but they're there. And so I'm really looking forward is a kind of a weird way to express it, but I think there's going to be real benefits in attending this for
Yeah.
our own individual reasons, right? That you're obviously facing this terminal illness and
Yeah.
that I have this loss that's coming as well, and all the implications of that. And anticipatory grief is a weird beast.
It really is so strange. Yeah,
Yeah.
grieving somebody that's still here, and then grieving for me the loss of my old self. So
Yeah.
it's so strange. I was curious to know if you're grieving anything else though, besides me.
Oh, geez. I mean, as an unloved daughter, I'm always grieving my mother.
Mm,
I try to always get past that. I've grieved a living person my entire life.
right.
Um, and some days hurt less than others. There's
Yeah.
a lot of days on the calendar. We've just come out of the holidays. Like that always makes everything a little bit raw
Yeah.
because I'm not phoning my mom. She's not phoning me.
Yeah.
I'm not wishing her a happy new year. She's not wishing one to me. And so as an unloved daughter, a lot of days on the calendar are really painful. I hate Mother's Day. I shouldn't, but I
Hmm.
do.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, so that
And
grief
she's
is
not
always,
exaggerating because I've known her since she was 4. She is an unloved
yeah.
mother, anyways, but her mother
Yeah, it's
is
brutal.
not
It's brutal.
available. Yeah.
It's taken me a
Yeah.
long time and, a decade of therapy and an insane amount of self-help books to really kind of understand the mechanics of what's going on. Because of course, when you're young, you just know you're being rejected and that pain is visceral and real, and it really controls a lot of the decisions that you make as a young person as well, looking for love in all the wrong places, quite
Well,
literally.
and you turn in on yourself, you think it's your fault. So,
Absolutely, which kids will do, and then it changes the standards that you have for other relationships in your life and all of the
mhm.
implications of that. And so, having come into my 40s and, especially when I jokingly call that area of time in my early 40s when I was between marriages, like some people are between jobs. I was between marriages and I did a lot of work about myself and
Yeah.
really trying to understand who I am. Why do I do the things I do the way I do them? Like what is
Mm,
the infrastructure of me? And I don't think that's a job you're ever done learning about,
mhm.
but in my early 40s was when I was really starting to dig into that. It was also not a coincidence when I also started going to therapy. And
Mm.
honestly, like I probably wouldn't even be sitting here right now still drawing breath if it weren't for my therapist.
Yeah, same. Oh God, me too. She's totally saved my life.
Yeah, and that's not hyperbole, like for real, for real.
Oh, it's for real, for real. Yeah, like I was like, you're gonna be in my room when I die. Like
Mm.
she's that important to me. She's definitely gonna be there. Um, I thought of something and then I just forgot about it.
But yeah, you'd ask me what else I was grieving. That's the only thing ever that I'm really grieving all the time. I have also a really strained relationship with my youngest son, and that
Mhm.
feels like it kind of lives in the same sort of zone as the grief I have around my mother. And so I try not to get too close to a lot of that stuff in my heart very often because it's excruciating.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it'll come up when it's ready to be healed. That's what my therapist always says.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's coming up because it's ready to be healed. If it's not coming up, it's not ready to be healed. So,
And there's a million little tiny facets to it. And so when it does emerge, I hold space for the part that's come up, but
yeah.
it's taxing and it's so wearying and Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because you probably have to have a lot of emotional capacity to deal with that.
Yep.
So I know there was something about 2 years ago that I had to, because I'm in a 12-step program, I'm 16 years sober, uh, sober from drugs and alcohol, but I can cling on to other escapes. And so for a long time, I was clinging on to shopping, and I was like, oh my God, I was obsessed with buying couches, and they were all in like the 3,000. But it was the journey of like finding the money, getting the like, and then I would like flip like it was literally insane. Insane people don't know that they're insane, and I was insane. And I knew, but it was getting me through my daughter's teenage years. Like it was my way of having a drink,
Right.
essentially.
Yep.
And I knew I had to do work around it, but I knew I couldn't until I had the emotional space to like really, because it
Unpack the
was
whole fucking thing.
so big. And I did do it, and it was, my life is completely different, but I knew I couldn't even, you can't open up the door of, emotional, what's the word? Emotional disturbance or whatever, or
Hmm.
trauma. You can't open that door just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if you open up the door a little bit, it's just going to open up. You can't just like
Totally.
poke your head out and be like, hi, I see how dysfunctional you are. Bye.
Yeah.
It's like you got to be ready to go out and stay outside the door and do the work. And it's so, yeah,
But
I
those moments
understand.
of the desire to peak, like you're saying, those moments emerge when it's
Yeah.
time.
Yes, exactly.
So
Yeah.
back to the, talking about the retreat, I think that knowing that this is coming up and that it's not only facilitated, but it is created for this purpose, I think just
Yeah.
having that space be dedicated to that end and to for it to be about grief however it emerges, I think that's going to be really cathartic and healing and therapeutic for our individual experiences, but also as a place for us to explore the part of us losing this version of our relationship.
Oh, totally. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that part, but you
No, can
know
we not talk about
yeah,
that?
moving on.
Moving on.
We'll do a suitable debrief after and share some stuff about it because I'm sure people will be really curious about it. One of the things I love about our friendship and just the type of human beings that we are, because we grew and changed a shitload in the
Yes.
8 years that we were estranged. Um, I haven't actually said this to you yet, but I fucking love the woman that you are. You
Oh,
you are so empathetic, you are attuned, you are compassionate, you are emotionally generous and very insightful, and you do a really excellent job of holding space for other people's discomfort. But I love that for us
tell that to
because
my ex. No, I'm just kidding.
oh fuck that. But what I love about all of those qualities of who you are as a woman, like that
Mm,
that is something really special to me, as I'd said before about being an unloved daughter. I haven't
mm.
had a lot of relationships with women that are safe,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because my first relationship with a woman was as unsafe as it comes. Like we're
Right.
talking the bitch tried to run me over with a car,
Yeah. Her
not
mom is,
making it up.
her mom is
So
not well. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what a gift it is, despite the 8 years that I can't get back. This time that we have now it
Hmm.
means so much to me
Me too.
because this
Yeah.
friendship represents literally my whole life. One of the things I said to you when we first started reconnecting, when I learned about your diagnosis, and I don't know if you remember me saying this, but I said that you are forever woven into the fabric of who I am.
Yes, I do remember you saying that. Yeah.
And I can't articulate it in a truer way. I wouldn't be me
Mm.
without you.
Yeah, it's so funny to have been shared such a close friendship for so long, and then to have had this divide for however long that was, and then come back. But when I first saw you, because she came to take me to Costa Rica, and she was getting out of the Uber, and it was like I'd seen her yesterday.
I know there was
It was
zero
so weird. I
weirdness.
was expecting it to be awkward and uncomfortable, and then we spent 2 weeks together, over 2 weeks together,
Yeah.
sleeping in the same bed. Like you would have thought we would have just been irritated with each other, but it just
No.
we just fell right back into, and really quickly, just I have to do one really quick thing. Sorry, can you entertain them?
Ah, I will entertain the people. I think one of the things that was so remarkable, an observation that I made about me and you, especially in our time in Costa Rica, because we still had to learn how to be this version of ourselves together,
Yeah,
was that we both, I think we're both so well regulated as people that
yeah,
when we had a need, we were pretty attuned to the other person having a need, whether that was space, whether it was a
yeah.
drink, whether it was of water, or like sitting down, or like going into the pool, whatever it was, like we just read each other really naturally.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
when we needed our time, I
yeah.
think also too, like we had said at the outset, before I even got there, like we kind of established some ground rules of like,
Yes, that we
I need
need
breaks.
space and time.
Uh-huh.
We're both neurodivergent, so we obviously like really need quiet time and alone time. And so it was really nice to know that you also need that. And so like
But
I
we
would
never had
tell,
to expressly ask for it. It just naturally
no, it just
happened the whole
happened.
time.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was
And it's
wonderful.
funny. It's funny because you were talking about your mom and like, not having these kind of relationships that mirror like, holding space and emotional readiness and availability, blah, blah, blah. And I remember we met up, we went to Costa Rica, and then we came back and you were here for like a week or something
Mhm.
after. And I remember sitting you down and I was like, okay, Vanessa, tell me what's really going on.
Yeah.
And that was only because I could see that for the whole week prior, she was filtering herself, probably through the way that she's filtered herself through her job because she works, customer service, but
Hmm.
also through unsafe relationships, unsafe friendships, or friendships that don't necessarily have that emotional safety. And I've got lots of friends that are just more
There's just
casual
stuff you don't
friends.
get into with them. Yep.
Yeah, so anything I asked Vanessa, everything was positive. And I was
Hmm.
like, this is the most obnoxious bitch I've ever met because nobody's life is as good as Vanessa's life, that's for sure. And it was just simply asking the question, and then you like vomited the
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that is so funny because I could pick up on the things that she was talking about in the trip. But of course, the things that were coming out of her mouth were, "Oh my God, this is so great, and everything is so great in this area and that area of my
Yeah.
life." And then, but I could see
That
differently
there's
that it
more.
wasn't.
Yeah, that there's more.
Yeah, and so I don't know about you, but like I felt great relief and more connected to you
Oh my
based on the
God.
fact that you could just fucking tell me the truth. Let's
It
stop
was
fucking
so
putting
great.
sugar on it.
It was so great. And I think what I loved, as you mentioned, like I have these roles, especially
Yeah.
because I do like coaching and I do I sit on panels and I talk about business and I talk about all this stuff. And of course I have to filter myself. And in a customer service position as well, people come in all the time. Hey, how's it going? How is the store in Skagway? Oh, it's so
Good.
good. They don't really want to know. And so, after a decade of being asked these kinds of questions from people who are just don't have proper social skills to ask what they really want to ask. Like, hey, I'm super curious. Is your Skagway store making as much money as you thought? Like, be
Yeah.
direct if that's really what you want to know. But if you ask me how it's all going, that's a bullshit surface answer, and I'm going to give you or a question. I'm going to give you a bullshit surface answer,
Yeah.
and you got that like autopilot version of me,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and it was funny because you are so direct. But what I loved though was that when you were that direct, my nervous system panicked,
I know, I could see it.
but you immediately followed it up by saying, like, I really want to know. And I can't remember exactly how you said it, but you articulated it in a way that made it very clear to me and my nervous system that it was safe to be honest.
Well, I think I said, well, it's kind of like what happened when we talked earlier on FaceTime. I can't remember what I said, but I was like, I called you out on something. And
Oh,
I
about
said,
being so busy.
she's always busy. She's always busy. I said, every time we get on a FaceTime, she's doing something. And then she's like, I'm not always like that. And I was like, bitch, I was in Costa Rica and you were doing shit the whole time. Okay. I'm just and then, and I could tell she was resistant to hearing that or that hurt her feelings. And I understand that. And I said, I'm saying that because I care about you and I
Mhm.
worry about you, just the same way that you call me out about relationships I'm in that are hurting me. And
Yeah.
you tell me, and then I followed that up with, I'm not judging you. That's not my job. I'm not here to judge you.
Yeah.
And I like to say that to people because it's like we're so fucking conditioned, especially as women, to be judged for every single move every decision we make, whether it's good or bad.
Someone's got a
We're
fucking
gonna fuck,
opinion.
somebody's gonna say it's the wrong thing.
Yeah,
So, and so
absolutely.
I know that I like to hear the truth, but I also like somebody to say, and I'm not judging you. It would be really normal for you to want to be busy all the time with what you're going through.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I think being in the program that I'm in, I've learned. I mean, I used to be direct and mean. Like that's how I was growing up.
Mhm.
And now I've learned you can be direct, but also hold emotional safety and space for other people.
And yeah, and still be
Because
kind
then
about
they're
it.
going to talk. Nobody's going to talk to you if you're like, saying something to them and you're calling them out on something, but you're doing it with your fucking judgmental tone.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I'm never
their
gonna,
body's gonna know it's not safe.
I'm never calling you again then. No, I'm too
Yeah.
old for that like high school bullshit. No, no,
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
no, no. I did think that we talked earlier about doing a few different topics per
Mhm.
episode. And we were going to talk about sex in our 40s, but I think we've kind of taken up the whole episode at this point. So our next episode is, I'm excited about this topic, and I hope other people are too, about talking about sex in your 40s.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be really great.
Yeah.
Like we kind of did
And
we did a little pre-exploration on this topic before we started to record, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be fucking juicy. Don't have anybody in earshot of this thing if you are not prepared for
no
them to get
children.
an edu fucking cation. So
And
just
when
know
we
that.
say juicy, we mean juicy. Okay.
Literally juicy. Bring a towel.
But also, it's not just being in your 40s and having sex, it's being neurodivergent, it's
Mhm.
terminal sex, it's sex with autism, it's sex with fucking memory loss and perimenopause. Like, that's what we're going to talk about.
And a little bit of sex when you go from one long-term relationship to another long-term relationship, because this girl is on marriage number two. So,
That's correct.
that's part of it. And then there is also that interesting space of time where I was between husbands that fun was had.
Right. Exactly. And I've been in long-term relationships, and I mean, it was in my late 30s, but yeah, I mean, I think,
Anyways, we'll get into it next time.
and I'm
And
so
I know,
excited.
and it's going to be pretty like honest and open and candid.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm gonna, like, if anybody has any comments or questions that they would like us to answer, just put it in the comment section. I know we're very
Anytime.
popular with our 20 followers.
We're glad for every one of you. But
We're
also another thing is, we do have this dedicated email for the pod. So it's too
okay,
cute
yes.
pod at gmail.com. It's in the show notes of all the places that we post all of this stuff. But we definitely want to share what you want to hear. We're pretty open
Yeah.
books.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think too, this is just an idea that came to me, is that maybe every week on our TikToks, and while you have more followers on your Instagram, that you're posting the topic of
Oh, the
the week.
upcoming. Yeah, that's a great idea.
And then that could, and then people could, it gives them an opportunity to write the questions, like say on your Instagram or whatever, if you
For
did a post.
sure.
a post rather than a story or whatever. So
That's an excellent idea. So yeah, we're going to get into sex over 40, terminal, chronic illness, invisible illness, all of that.
perimenopause sex is the best.
And we might even have like, I don't know, an Amazon shopping list or
Ooh.
something. I don't know. Or like we'll link our favorite products.
Oh yeah. I'm not much of a
Not
product
sponsored, but
girly.
willing to be.
Exactly, exactly. And I mean, this might be a 25, point series or whatever,
Time
but
will tell. We'll see how
time will
much we
tell.
have to say about the matter.
And I think it would be very fun to start having guests on the show as well. So if there's anyone else that would like to be on the show that has maybe
Totally.
chronic illness or is also terminal or is like in the thick of like, I don't know,
I would
chronic
love to
pain.
do I would love to do a pod with your friends. Those the guys. I don't remember their names.
Oh, with Luke.
Yes.
Oh, that would be so, okay. I'm gonna ask them. They would love that. So we'll make that
Perfect.
maybe the next one after.
Okay,
So,
so
so this is
back
my friend that I met on TikTok. He also has young onset Alzheimer's, and his friend is doing a documentary
yeah.
on him. So, and they're hilarious. Like, so I should send you the video of what Brent sent me the other day. We send each other little clips of videos of us singing to each other, and
Oh my
he's like
God.
opening up his fridge and he's like, I don't know what to eat for dinner. Like it's just you always have to have a friend that's just as weird as that, you know?
Always. And for me, that's you.
Aw. For me, that's not you because you're not funny. You're funny looking.
Oh, so cold. So
I'm
cold.
kidding. She's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
You're my favorite person to share a McCain's Deep and Delicious cake with.
That is true. Same. And I haven't had one since. And when you come here in 2 weeks or whatever that is, we're getting that.
Yeah, we are.
And macaroni.
Excellent. Awesome. Okay, well,
I
I feel
love
like
you.
this is a great place to wrap the pod for today. All right. Well, thanks for listening to Too Cute to Die, where the vibes are terminal, and so are we. We're Rebecca and Vanessa. We'll see you next week, unless one of us forgets, dies, or both. Bye.
Hopefully you don't die. See you
Try
later.
not to die. Love you. Bye.
Bye.